Hello. Hello everybody. Welcome to PlanBee Live Learning Session 16. Thank you for joining me. Welcome those of you returning again, and for those of you here for the first time, it's lovely to have you with us. Welcome and thank you. My name is Ollie and I'm a primary teacher and I'm also a resource creator at planbee.com. But today I am going to be your art teacher. I'm really looking forward to today's session. We're going to be doing some extreme earth art and we're going to be getting started in a few minutes' time. We'll just allow a couple of minutes for people to arrive and for me to tell you about a couple of the usual things that we normally do to make sure everybody can get the most out of this session. So let's have a quick look at what's happening today. Here we go. So in 3 or 4 minutes, we'll get started and we're going to have quite a quick opening part of today's session before we get on with our task. And that's because it's an arty task today and I want us to draw together. And I'm going to be drawing along too, and we can talk about art techniques as we draw, and as well that will allow plenty of time for you to create some wonderful works of art which I'm hoping you'll share with me and we can look at together on the live stream before the end of today's session at around 11:40ish. So let's get a couple of things out of the way. Welcome, welcome. I can see so many of you on the live chat there. Welcome back to many of you. And I can see we've got some new people as well. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm really looking forward to this. On the live chat as well is my colleague Becky. Welcome. Thank you for helping me today. Becky is a teacher as well, and she's here to moderate and to help answer some questions which I can't get to during the session. So please do feel free to ask Becky anything about today's session or the home learning in general while we're carrying on today. There's always an opportunity later on in the session as well, while children are doing a bit of independent artwork, for parents to ask us anything about home learning and these sessions, that sort of thing as well. In the description below the video, there's a link to our registration form and we invite everybody taking part to just take a second to complete that registration form. It's really helpful for us. We can just match up YouTube accounts to names, that kind of thing, and it helps us know who we're working with during these sessions. The second link in the description below is to today's worksheets. They are free to download via that second link. And if you're able to download them, then that's brilliant. You could display them on the screen. And less important today is the ability to print them. If you can't print, it's no problem. If you can't download them either, that's no problem at all. All you will really need for today's session is pencil and paper. Ideally some colouring pencils, but I don't actually have colouring pencils here at home where I'm working, so I'm just using a regular pencil. And that's fine if that's all you have too. What else do we have? Home learning enrolment. And that's another link down in the description below. And today, especially if you haven't enrolled yet, I would really encourage you to do so. We send out a load of free resources for learning at home, but also we will tell you about upcoming live sessions like these. As time is going on, while lots of you are learning at home, we're just tweaking and changing the way we run those sessions. So enrolling via the home enrolment form below, I think it's the third link in the description, is the best way to make sure that you get links and information about upcoming live sessions like this. Lastly, I said that we have a way for you to send in photos of your children working or photos actually of their artwork. We love to see those. We share them during the live session and it's one of children taking part's favourite bits, seeing their work up on screen. So there is an email address below. The email address is homelearning@planbee.com. That's homelearning, all one word, @planbee.com. And please do send in photos. It would be brilliant to see those. Just a quick reminder, as always, that by sending those in, parents, you are basically giving permission for us to share them, which we love to do. So I think it's time for us to get started. Are you ready to create some fantastic extreme earth works of art? Here we go. So, this is what we're learning to do today. We're learning to use colour, some of you, line and shading. So I won't be using colour, you might not be either. Right, so we're going to create artistic tornadoes. Ooh, I'm sure many of you know what tornadoes are already. What is this in the picture here? What is this? What words would you use to describe this phenomenon? And you can tell me in the chat, or you can tell a partner at home. Maybe you're working with a brother or sister, or you might be working with a grown-up. What can you see here? Well, it's a tornado, isn't it? And tornadoes are also known as twisters. Let me move my screen again. In fact, I'm just going to disappear for a minute. Oh, lovely. Good words to describe what you can see there in the chat. Well done. A tornado is a twisting vortex of rotating winds that form underneath storm clouds. They're very destructive and flatten everything in their path. Despite this, they are a spectacular sight. And some people chase these storms to try and catch a glimpse of a twirling tornado. Let's have a look at some more pictures of tornadoes, and we're going to use these to inspire us, I hope, to create tornado works of art today. Let's have a look at some. Goodness, look at this. I wonder where in the world this is. You might be able to tell from the types of vegetation, the trees here. Probably not England, where I am. And this one, well, this is very different to where I am currently. Look at that at sea. Can you see what's happening where the tornado is touching the surface of the sea there? And look at this one. This is looking more up towards the clouds at what's happening in a stormy sky. Pay particular this in our artwork today. And some more here. Look at the incredible shapes that tornadoes make as they twist and turn in the wind. And here's another one. This is an enormous, dark, brooding tornado in the distance here. And look in the foreground of this picture. There's a farm. I wonder if the tornado's heading their way. Hopefully, all of these things that we're looking at in the pictures will inspire you and give you some ideas for your tornado artwork today. Look at this. There's a glimpse of bright sunlight in the sky up here. Let me move so you can see that. Look at that. I think I'd like to include some bright sky peeking through the stormy clouds in my tornado artwork today. So, today we're going to create some colourful tornadoes of our own, or you might be creating some black and white tornadoes of your own. Let's have a look at how we can do this. So, this is the first step in a tornado art technique that we're going to use today. So hopefully you can see this. It starts really simply. On a sheet of paper, A4, or perhaps, like me, you have a notebook or an art sketchbook that you're working in. You can draw some funnel shapes, and by funnel shapes, I mean that they start narrow at the bottom of the page, where the ground is. Do you see? And they get wider as they go up the page towards the sky. So if you imagine the ground at the bottom of your page where you're drawing, they get wider, these tornadoes, as they go up towards the storm clouds in the sky. And can you see here, they've been overlapped. So there are several tornadoes swirling around. Very dramatic. I can just see, can somebody go back to where we introduced what we were doing at the start? So what I'll do is I'll just refresh us really quickly about what we're doing in case you just missed the start of today's session. We are going to create dramatic, perhaps colourful or perhaps black and white tornado works of art today. And like I said, if you've got colouring pencils, then great. But if you haven't, and you've just got normal pencils like me, that's equally fine. And I'm going to show you how to do shading techniques using just a regular pencil. Cara, are you struggling to see today's stream? Yeah. Sorry, just bear with me. I'm just going to leave a message on the chat here. There we go. I've just said if you're struggling to see the live stream and you're just seeing the little thumbnail test card at the start, then you can try refreshing the page and hopefully you can see. Okay, so that's the first step, drawing these funnel shapes, and you can already see what they're going to be, I hope, can't you? Now let's look at the next bit. Now this is where we start to create a 3D effect by creating these bands, these curved lines going up the tornadoes. Now can you see what's happening here? They actually change direction, these lines, to create a 3D effect. Low down at the bottom near the ground, they start out as concave lines curving downwards, but part-way through up, where the tornado changes direction, they change to convex lines, curves going up, and that creates a really dramatic 3D effect. And I just want to show you a little sneaky peek of my drawings that I've already started to show you what that might look like. Can you see there? I've started drawing banded lines, convex and concave lines on one of my tornadoes. I'm going to draw some more on this second tornado in front in a minute, but it starts to create a 3D effect. Once you've done that, you can start trying to colour the sections of your tornado. Now this is a really dramatic, arty effect, so not necessarily a natural, realistic effect, but a dramatic work of art that you can create using these bands of colour alternating. So you can alternate sections, and purple and yellow have been used here, but you could use any colours you want. And can you see, to enhance the 3D effect, how the colour has been shaded in darker towards the outside edges of the tornado? And it helps create that 3D effect, so it's lighter in the middle. Now, if you're just working in plain pencil today, that's absolutely fine too. Let me show you, because that's the way I'm working today. I don't have colouring pencils. I've been working in my notebook to create a tornado work of art. And can you see here how I've used plain pencil, a normal regular pencil, to start shading, alternating these curved sections. And I've pressed quite hard with my pencil towards the outside edges, and then I've gradually got lighter as I've moved towards the centre of the tornado, and in the very middle I've actually not shaded at all. That's just the plain page showing through. And can you see, you start to get a 3D circular effect. There's a couple of other things you might have noticed in my sketch which you could do as well. I'll talk about that as we go on. Look at this. Now, I wish I had colouring pencils because I love this effect. Actually, I'll go here. There we go. Then you can see everything, can't you? I love this effect. Once you've coloured in each of the tornadoes, you can choose a background. You could colour the whole background black, like here. And look at that 3D effect. I really love this because it's like an abstract form of art, isn't it? You get an incredible 3D effect here. They're not naturalistic tornadoes, but they're really arty, colourful ones. So you could colour your background black, or you could add a landscape in the background. Look at this, we've got hills and a house. That house is red, a bit like the farmhouse in the picture that we saw earlier. Let me just bring my screen up again, because I want to show you how you can, if you're not using colours in the background, if you're not using coloured pencils, how you can create this effect using just a regular pencil. Let me make my screen a bit bigger again and show you. I'm doing it with shading. Can you see I've drawn hills, and I've drawn as well, just by making little black boxes and circles and shapes, I've been drawing a road, the horizon, hills. This is a farmhouse with a little grain tower and a tractor in front of it. Now, do you remember what I said about the art being impressionistic or a bit abstract? Well, it doesn't really look exactly like a tractor, but you get the impression that there's a farm and buildings in the background, just with a few rectangular and round shapes and lines. And again, a road and some trees. The trees are literally just a couple of lines and a couple of gentle pencil strokes. The shading in the background here, for my stormy sky, I've started off pressing hard with my pencil, and I've gradually got lighter, so it's a bit like in that photo we looked, with light peeking through the stormy clouds. Now I want to show you a good technique that you can use today if you're using pencils. If you're using pencils, oh dear, there's a couple of people having technical problems. Sorry, we'll carry on in a moment. I just want to double check that everything is working okay my end. I think it is. So I want to show you, we'll just carry on now, a shading technique using a pencil. So rather than when we're writing, when you hold the pencil quite close to the tip, like this, so that you can create a hard line, there, writing my name, rather than holding it close to the tip, hold your pencil further up. And that means, if I can show you, rather than writing like we normally do with the pencil at an angle, you can hold your pencil much flatter to the page. And that allows you to shade with a lot more control over how hard the pencil presses down. So you can shade a dark line, and then just by pressing slightly more gently, I can start to shade lighter and lighter and lighter. It's a really useful technique for using shade in your pictures. And that's what I've tried to do here. You can do it with colouring pencils as well. Let me just show you now one more idea to inspire you, and then it'll be time for us to go away for a few minutes and work independently on tornado works of art. You could create a swirly background to give the effect of a storm, and I love this technique as well. This abstract art technique with the different colours used to create different parts of a storm. I wonder if any of you would like to do this in your tornado work of art today. Which technique and which twister pictures do you like best? I know which one I like. Hopefully, you've got some good ideas to inspire you to create your own tornado work of art now. And as you're working, please do feel free to ask me any questions in the live chat about techniques for shading and the changing the colour lightness or darkness. Yeah, the bottom right one is dramatic, isn't it? I like that one. Okay. So which colours do you think you'll use? Or which techniques do you think you'll use if you're just using a plain pencil? It's time for us to get started. Let me quickly show you the worksheets that we have today that you might use. This is the first one, worksheet 2A. Now this is really a bit of a practice sheet for practicing shading if you want to before you get into your main drawing. There's absolutely no need to use this if you want, unless you want to, but it just provides some spaces for you to practice doing those alternating colours and shading techniques. The second page is a template which you could use if you want, or like me, if you can't print, you can start with a plain piece of paper and you can draw your funnels. Then you can draw your curved lines and start from scratch. And again, if you're going away after this session, there is a help sheet here which describes the technique that I just shared with you, and you can just refer to that instead. There's one more sheet here, which is how to make a tornado mobile. If you want to do something to extend learning after today's session, you might like to have a go at creating a twirly tornado mobile. And this help sheet explains how to do that too. So, are you ready, artists? Are you inspired to create your own dramatic tornado work of art using colour or shading to create a dramatic effect? Now I'm going to carry on drawing as you do. If you're ready, off you go. And when you feel ready, in a few minutes' time hopefully, parents please do send in a photo to homelearning@planbee.com. Becky, thank you, has shared that email address in the chat, and in about 10 minutes time at most, we will have a look at some of those pictures. So there's no rush, spend a few minutes, but likewise you don't have to finish. We love seeing your work in progress. So, get cracking, have a go. I'm going to draw as well. I look forward to seeing your pictures in a bit. Now, parents, thank you for joining us today, especially those of you here for the first time. Now is the time I allow a few minutes for children to work independently before we share things over the email. Again, as I said, that's one of the favourite bits for children taking part in these sessions. They love to see their own and others' artwork, and we have a little chat about it at the end, so please do send in photos. But there's a few minutes for them to work before you need to do that. There's no great rush. You can also ask me or Becky any questions you like about today's session now, and also any questions about using PlanBee's resources. If you haven't been to planbee.com before, I'd really encourage you to have a look. We've got hundreds and hundreds of free resources that if you create an account, it takes a few seconds, you can download for some inspiration for home learning across a whole range of subjects at home. We do also have our premium resources as well, and teachers across the country and around the world have been using those for many years, and they are extremely easy to use and very detailed, comprehensive, with everything that you need to teach a lesson. And you're very welcome, if you enrol via the Home Learning enrolment link, to use the special code that we send you to try some of those premium resources for free as well. And we're here to advise. We appreciate that parents don't have the same expertise and experience that teachers teaching your children at school do, so we're here to help support you if you want to use any of our resources at planbee.com. What else can I tell you about? I know. I wanted, while children are working today, to share a short video clip for a bit more inspiration so we can see some tornadoes in movement. Hopefully they might inspire you as you're drawing. Hopefully you've drawn your funnel lines going up from the ground to the sky and you're starting to add some detail. But maybe seeing this video clip might inspire you to add some extra details to create a sense of movement, maybe some blurry lines or some dust in your tornado picture. Let's have a quick look at a video clip now.
They begin life as ghosts, gently coursing through a solitary existence. But slowly, their gentility turns to rage. They grow larger and larger, curling and twisting and desperately reaching down from the sky. And what began as an invisible shade has turned into a monster.
I love the light
Tornadoes
coming
are
through the
powerful,
clouds.
spinning columns of air that stretch from the ground to the clouds. Most are relatively weak, but the few that grow into large events are extremely violent and cause immense destruction. Tornadoes occur on 6 of the 7 continents. The country with the most tornadoes based on land size is the United Kingdom, with an average of about 33 tornadoes reported each year. But the country with the greatest overall number of tornadoes and the most intense is the United States, with over 1,000 reported annually.
There we go. Hopefully some of those video clips of tornadoes occurring has inspired you to add some more detail to your works of art. I know that I want to add some dust blowing around my tornadoes, being picked up by the tornadoes off the ground and whipped up into the air. So I'm going to have a little go at that now. And I'm just going to make my screen bigger as I do this now. I think I'm going to try doing this by adding light pencil marks. So a bit like I was doing for the sky, I'm going to start adding pencil marks over the top of my tornado funnel. And I'm also going to add dots as well, as if they're bits of debris and dust and leaves thrown up into the air. I've just done this. Now, there, can you see at the bottom of this tornado here, I've just added, just with faint pencil strokes and dots as well, so just going dot, 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 I've added dust to the bottom of my tornado there. And I think that gives it a bit of a nice sense of movement. You might like to do that too. So, hopefully that has been inspiring for you, looking at that video clip and looking at the pictures of the techniques for creating tornado works of art. There again are some pictures to help you. I'm just going to have a look now and see if we have had any pictures sent in. And I can see some of you on the chat saying that you are either going to or you already have. And we'll have a look together. There's still plenty of time. We're going to finish in about 10 minutes. So there's still plenty of time for you to send a picture in if you'd like to. Let's have a look. Oh, wow. I've got a brilliant photo that's been sent in here, which I'd like to share with you all. which I'm just going to bring up now. Okay. So, Holly and Leah, welcome to today's session. Thank you so much for taking part. I've got a picture of you two working. Let's have a look. Just going to shrink this down so that we can all see it. There we go. Look at this. Holly and Leah working away. Wow. These pictures you're drawing are superb. I love the way that you have drawn your curvy, funnel-shaped tornadoes all overlapping each other like there's several at once. And I can see here as well some brilliant shading happening. I can see you're holding your pencil a little bit further up as well, like I suggested, to give you more control over doing light and dark shading. Superb. I bet they're going to be brilliant when you finish. Thank you for sharing that. Well done. Let's have a look and see if there are some more. Okay, here we go. Karen, welcome back again. Thank you for joining us, and Rianne as well, thank you for joining us again. I can see your works in progress and I'd like to share them with everybody now. Let's have a look. Now look at this. Wonderful artwork going on here. My goodness. You've got your curvy overlapping funnel shapes and you've got those convex, and can you see here, concave and convex lines to create that 3D effect. Well done. Oh, I like your fluffy pencil as well. And another one here. Wow, this is really dramatic. Look at everything going on in this tornado picture. We've got tornadoes crossing over. We've got stormy skies. Oh, and I see you've drawn a road and a house as well. This is very dramatic. Lovely, well done. Thank you, both of you, for sharing your pictures, your work in progress. Let's keep looking. Wow. Callie, welcome. I'm looking at yours, which is a wonderful, colourful tornado picture. Let's have a look at Callie's. Callie, I love your colour choices and your brilliant shading. It's creating this wonderful 3D effect. The tornadoes look really conical and like they're spinning round, don't they? That's lovely. Thank you, Callie, for sharing that. Ebony and Ilana, welcome. I hope I'm saying your names correctly, Ebony and Ilana. Oh, some dramatic dark backgrounds here going on. And what I really like as well, actually, is that we're seeing such a variety of artwork today. You've decided to use the templates, allowing you to focus straight away on your shading. And again, look, I can see you holding the pencil slightly further up to give you more control over the shading there. That's lovely. Thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your pictures, your lovely work in progress there. Thank you. And Henry, Welcome back, Henry. Thank you so much for joining us again. Oh wow, we've got so much going on in this picture from Henry. Let's have a look. We've got... Brilliant. Look at this, not only have we got a tornado tearing up the ground below, but we've got stormy clouds and thunderbolts. Lovely. Thank you again, Henry, that's really nice. Lots of pictures being sent in today. Edward and Lydia, welcome. Thank you for sending me your picture. Let's have a look. Edward and Lydia. Oh, you look like you've got a nice space to work there. That's lovely. Oh, brilliant. And again, look, I love your colours, and I can see here some fantastic light and dark shading to create that 3D effect. Very well done. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for sharing a picture of your wonderful tornado art. Abdul, welcome back. Thank you for joining us too. Here is Abdul's dramatic picture using the template again. Lovely shading. I particularly like how you've used darker near the edges and lighter in the centre of the bands around the tornado to make it look really 3D. Lovely, well done. Lily. Lily, I think you've joined us before, haven't you? Welcome back if you have. I think you have, haven't you? This is really nice. Look at the way Lily has crossed the tornadoes in front and behind them to create an even more 3D effect. And you're using a bit of colour and plain pencil as well. Really nice. I bet that's going to look wonderful when you finish. Thank you. Okay, Anthony. Anthony. Thank you so much for joining us, Anthony. And wow, this is so dramatic, this picture. It's very, very colourful, very dramatic. Goodness me, this might be our most abstract, impressionistic tornado art yet. Wow, what a riot of colour. Superb. I understand you're very proud of that, as you should be. Very well done, and thank you for joining us, Anthony. And Mariam. Mariam, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us again. I think you're an art fan, aren't you? You must be, because of your lovely shading I can see here. You must really, really enjoy art. Look at this. I love your choice of colours, and I love how carefully and lightly you've shaded to create that 3D effect. Superb. Thank you, Mariam. And let's have a look. Who else do we have? Oh, this is nice. Another pencil drawing like mine. I'm not sure who this is, so when I show it in the live chat, please tell me if this picture belongs to you. Oh, and you've got some nice natural light to work at there by the window. That's really nice. It helps, doesn't it? Look at this shading. Just done using a regular pencil, dark and light in the middle, and some other details going in there, trees and houses. Can you tell me who this is in the chat, please? Cara. Cara, thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your picture. That's great. That's going to look superb when you finish. A couple more before the end of today's session. Let me just download these now. This is Holly's. Holly, I love it. Thank you for joining us, Holly. And look, we've got some really dramatic lightning bolts here. Look at those. Lovely shading. Oh, and look, you've used another technique here. You've used cross-hatching. Cross-hatching, and that's when you go in one direction and then you might go, by turning the page or your pencil, in another direction, and you can get some really interesting shading effects by doing that, and I can see that you've done that up here. Well done. Thank you. Great to see your art techniques in action, everybody. Quickly as we can. Lloyd. Welcome, Lloyd. Thank you for joining us. Wow. I love it. This is so colourful. You've got alternating colours, but each tornado crossing in front and behind each other has different colours. Lovely. What a creative, colourful effect. Thank you, Lloyd. Well done. And Leah. Leah, let's have a look. Leah, thank you for joining us. My goodness. You and Holly have both been inspired by the same ideas, I think, haven't you? And have you been helping each other? Look at this. Beautiful. You've done some colourful lightning there as well. And you've done dust and debris being picked up as well at the bottom of the tornadoes. Lovely. Thank you. Megan. Welcome, Megan. Thank you for joining me and for sharing your picture. Where has it gone? Oh, bear with me while I find Megan's picture. I have so many pictures today, which is wonderful, but I seem to have lost Megan's. There it is. Look at this brilliant shading by Megan. I love the way that you have shaded this. It looks so bright across the centre of the tornado. It's really 3D. Well done. Well, it's time for us to finish. What an action-packed session today with so many fantastic pieces of artwork sent in. I absolutely loved seeing them, and I hope you enjoy continuing to work on your dramatic, colourful or black and white tornado pictures. As I said, with the worksheets, there's an activity to extend your learning about tornadoes and doing some artwork beyond this activity today. You might like to have a go at creating a 3D spinning tornado mobile. The instructions are on that worksheet. But whatever you do, I'd just like to say thank you very much from me for joining us in this session and other ones if you have before. And please do make sure you're enrolled via the link, third link down in the description below, so that you are the first to find out about upcoming live learning sessions or home learning resources that we are providing. Wherever you are, and whether you continue this or not, or you're going on to do something else with your home learning today, I hope you have a wonderful afternoon and a brilliant weekend too. Thank you, Becky, for joining me, and I hope to see you all again on another live learning session soon. Bye-bye.